What is going on, guys? SKITZ here, back with my 9th coffee talk. Good morning, good afternoon, good night, wherever you guys are listening from. I'm glad you're here. Basically, what happens in these coffee talks, different from my short and sweet guides, I go over in depth on a certain topic or topics made for your commute to work or in the gym, or if you just have 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, depending on how long these coffee talks are to kill. You guys can sit back, relax, and absorb some World of Warcraft material that hopefully will make you a lot more gold than you're making now. So we're going to talk about today briefly why all of the prices are just ridiculously low. I have up on my screen now Fell Slate. You guys can see it's below 40 gold, and sometimes it's dipping below 35 gold per Fell Slate. So we're going to talk about why the prices are in the dirt, what we're going to do about that, some other farms and some other ideas that maybe we can supplement in between our normal farming and jewel crafting and gathering and crafting professions to make us some gold, while hopefully Blizzard kind of purges the game and we get another bot ban wave here shortly. So basically what happens, I'm going to catch you guys up. Every, I would say, 3 months or 2 months, Blizzard will do a stealth patch. And from my live stream, twitch.tv/itskits, 7 p.m. every single night, I had one person come in and say, yo, Skits, they just stealth patched something in the game, blah, blah, blah. And hopefully in a week and a half, there will be another ban wave for bots. So that's good for us. Why? Because not only can you go out and just put your bot or bots on Fell Slate farms, but what they're doing now is they're taking the blood method, the blood vendor method, and they're exploiting it to a crazy level. And what I mean by that is you can go out and you can farm Fell Slate. You can have the Boon of the Blood Hunter enchant on. So not only as you're killing mobs beside the Fell Slate and the Laystone, but those mobs have a chance to drop bloods as you're picking the nodes, the Fell Slate and the Laystone. That also gives you an opportunity to scoop up bloods. And then when it's all said and done, those bots will come back into Dalaran, go to the vendor, trade in all their bloods again for Laystone or Fell Slate, and then just dump that entire stock on the market, rinse and repeat, right? So when you have 1 or 2 or 10 people doing that, it's not a big deal. When you have 2 or 3 months for new accounts to, manifest, because guys, to put it into perspective, now it's so easy to level. If you can just outright buy character levels and character progressions through your gold. So if you already had an account with a couple million gold on it through botting or through whatever else, you could potentially just scoop up and level, a couple alts, transfer them to different accounts, and have yourself, just a plethora of bot accounts to kill the market. And I kind of think that's what's happening now. So hopefully Blizzard will get another ban wave going so we can rebound and reset these markets. So what am I doing now while this is going on? I'll take you to my guild bank and we'll talk about it on the way there. And periodically through these coffee talks, I will be sipping coffee because you guys know I'm a fiend. So right now I have some cold brew, delicious if you guys are interested. Here we are at our guild vault now. Okay, so for the longest time, I guess for the past month and a half, I've been pretty stacking Fell Slate, and there's a video on my YouTube channel if you guys would like to check that out. But basically what it entails is you're buying up a lot of uneven stacks. So for instance, if you go, I'll take you back right now to the auction house, but here's all the Fell Slate that I chose to sit on. If you have any materials that you think are worth a lot more, for instance Fell Slate or Starlight or your herbs or Laystone, any of those crafting materials, even enchanting materials, sit on them, because not only do you have a chance for them to go back up, which they will when another bot wave happens, but when 7.2 drops, it doesn't really matter to me that flying is coming. And what I mean by that is, yeah, people will be able to maneuver around, hop down an ore, mine for ore and herb a lot faster, skin, so on and so forth. But I would take 50 real players at their computer farming all day long in the air with 7.2 flying wise over 5,000 bots on the ground farming, if that makes sense. So as long as they can clean up the bot market, I think we'll be okay now and then moving into 7.2. But here, to put it into perspective, this is what I was doing with Fell Slate earlier on my live stream and off my live stream, and it still works very, very well, but you have to kind of maneuver yourself with the prices. So you see all these 1 stack of 3, 1 stack of 12, 12 stacks of 1. Basically everything up until these big stacks of 20, I would buy out and then relist, and it would you know, make me close to 50k, 100k a day before you would give it away every night on my live stream. But it was a ridiculous way to make money without traveling, without doing anything really, but just buying and reselling. So if you guys want to check that video out, short and sweet video, it's called How to Pretty Stack. That's on my video. But here's what you don't want to do during this time. You saw all that Fell Slate that I had in my guild bank, but right now, if I were to list what I bought up, was roughly around 1.5 million worth of Fell Slate, which we've sold, prospected. We did a couple videos of me. I prospected 100,000 of it just to mass prospect and see the results and see if it was still working well, mass prospecting through the patches and the stealth patches, and it is. But basically what I wanted you guys to take from this video is not to feed into the already plummeting markets, right? It doesn't make sense for you to buy up materials that you potentially thought you were going to resell at a better price and then just kind of crap out a week later because the prices have fallen so fast, and you're like, man, my Saber's Eye or Strength were selling for 10k, now they're going for 7.1k, right? Hold on to them, right? Hold on to them. The prices will go back up, and enough people are playing that even if the prices don't go back up, there's a lot of other gold farmers, a lot of gold goblins that are just as smart as you, or are listening to these coffee talks and hopefully are educated enough to basically not feed into this terrible market. These will sell through, people will buy them, and then when it rebounds, you'll have pockets. Once you check your auctions daily in the prices, you'll have pockets where you can sell the materials that you farmed and you worked so hard for to get at decent prices, right? So I'm going to give you a prime example right now. So Maelstrom Sapphires in the dirt, right? Eye of Prophecies in the dirt, Quick Dawn Lights in the dirt. And this is just a jewel crafting example, so I'm sure people are botting ore to prospect, or bloods, botting bloods to scoop up all kinds of other raw materials. I'm sure that your market is kind of taking a hit no matter what market you're in. So I'm going to show you right now why you always keep your eyes out. So right now, the Masterful Shadow Rubies, look at this, guys. We just went through, and as I was recording this and prepping for this video about 5 minutes ago, there were 6 more, right? The prices are dirt. For those of you that can't see the screen, the prices of the Masterful Shadow Rubies are going for around 1,400 gold. I'm used to selling those for about 2,500 plus, right? So there are only 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 of these up. I'm going to hold on to mine, and then I'm going to let these weasel pretty much just, you know, sift them way through. Just everybody's going to scoop these up, and if it's during a prime time, which I can show you right now, I can buy all of these out up until 2100, or it's only 1 stack of 1. There's 1 Masterful Shadow Ruby listed here as the most expensive at 2100. So all the rest are about 1400, 1500, and then there's 1 for 1800, 1 for 2100. I can buy all these out and relist them at like 2900 gold per, and you do that in stealth. And what I mean by stealth, you have to do this so careful that you have to buy yourself a 30-minute or an hour window to take full advantage of this, hoping that nobody is online. So how do you check that? So before I clear out all of these Masterful Shadow Rubies, let's see who's selling them, right? So Andro, Black, KY, Renzer. I'm going to do this in trade chat right now, not in trade chat, but just regular chat. /who, ANDRO. He's not online. That's perfect. Let's see. And he had the 6 stacks, right? So if I bought out the majority of these on the auction house to flip them and to resell them at a higher price, relist, the gentleman that relisted 6 of them is offline right now. So what I'm going to do live on this coffee talk to show you guys, I'm going to buy all of these out and we're going to relist. I didn't check if any of the other jewel crafters were online, but why? That's a good teaching point, because you'll know right now that once we checked those 7 or 8 that were left, when we buy all these out and relist at say 2,900, hopefully no jewel crafters will scan the market to see that, and then they'll go into competition with me if they have gems. But if not, we can get away with selling, you know, potentially 10, 15, 20 of these at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. That's, you know, kind of peak hours. It's Sunday on Kel'Thuzad on this realm. So I'm going to relist these. As you can see, none are up, and we'll relist them at 2,900. And let's just put 5 up just for now. So that's a solid example, guys, of when to buy up and reset certain materials. Because worst case scenario, I know when the prices rebound, I'll get at least 2,000 plus for the shadow rubies, no matter what. Even if I hold on to them and sit on them until the prices go back up. I bought these out at 1,400, 1,500 per, and I know for sure that I only bought out, you know, 20 of these, and I can get rid of them at a solid price. So I'm going to quickly shift over. I'm going to Alt and left click. For those of you that have Auctionator, it's an awesome feature. If you just hold down Alt and left click, it'll take you to the gem of choice. So right now, it's been about 20 seconds since we listed these. We know that no jewel crafter is on the auction house now that had these listed, because they'd already be in a war scrambling back to relist their masterful shadow rubies. So to put this into perspective also, let's just search for the regular shadow ruby, and look at this, guys. It's going for 784 gold uncut because of the botters or whatever else. But realistically, I think I'm gonna buy these out when I get off of here. I'm gonna make a decision to see if I want to stock up excuse me, not only for 7.2, but I want to stock up for the next ban wave. The gem market, any market can flip, not overnight, not half a day, but in 1 hour, in 30 minutes. There could be a ban wave, there could be something that happens, and shadow rubies could go from 700 to, you know, 3,000. Your Saber's Eyes could go from 6,500 to 1,200. Your Pandemonites, your materials for your Saber's Eyes, let's look at those right now. Probably the price is dirt. Oh, it's not. It's going back up because these hit rock bottom at like 1,900. The educated goblins, the people that didn't want to throw away their gold just to sell it and were impatient, were holding on to these. The people that were smart, excuse me. The people that just wanted to throw them away, the botters, people that just wanted to liquidate their market, their gem market, or whatever market they were in, they got rid of these at a ridiculously low price. So you don't see a lot of these on here now because people don't want to get rid of them at, you know, anything below 3K. So I'm going to hold on to these, and we're going to see where that takes us. So again, we just checked for our masterful shadow rubies. We bought all of those out. There was a total of about 10 of them, and we relisted them at 2,900. So we'll have a gap, probably 30 minutes or an hour, to sell these with no competition, because again, we checked /who and a couple of the people that were listing the gems to see if they were online or offline. They were offline, so we bought them up, and then we relisted them. So even if somebody were to come on that were to compete, it could only be 1 or 2 people. You can compete with them unless it's somebody that's on here 12 hours a day or 15 hours a day, and will relist every single time you relist. So another solid point to this right now, or with anything that you're selling that you're not sure what to do or how to do it as far as flipping is concerned, the last thing you want to do now is go into trade chat and type you know, looking for jewel crafter. I have 50 uncut shadow rubies right now. I want to cut them all just because I reset this market, and I want to list them all up there because it looks so juicy, and I want to sell these for, you know, 3,000 gold each. No. I would rather sell 10 shadow rubies over an hour at, you know, 500% overpriced, you know, upcharge from what they are now, than to sell 3 of them because I went in trade chat and I basically told 10 other people I was looking for a jewel crafter and or a jewel crafter for masterful shadow ruby. So that pretty much I use the bat symbol all the time. It shines the bat symbol into the market that basically this guy's looking for a jewel crafter. If he's well known on my realm, I know it's for a reason, and I'm going to check out why. And they'll just scan through the auction house quickly and see, you know, why is SKITZ looking for a jewel crafter? Why is Lightwork on Kel'Thuzad looking for a jewel crafter? Sure enough, they'll find that you're relisted or you just flipped that the shadow rubies, and they're going to go into competition with you. So be mindful of that, and make sure that you're taking full advantage of the market when you flip it. So you don't want to flip the market and then just tell everybody that you did it. You want to do it kind of in stealth and then take full advantage there. So kind of segueing into my next topic, or my next point, is basically what am I doing now? What markets am I in to kind of change up the day-to-day fell slates dying, all the crafting professions, the reagents for them are dying because of the botters, because of the just influx of people not only farming with their bots, but farming, for instance, skinning is the best way to scoop up bloods profession wise. If you didn't have professions, the best way to scoop up bloods would be to spam heroics with a solid group just in and out, or your regular mythics, just mythic 0, we like to call them, throughout the week. So what I like to do is diversify into different markets. So transmog or pets or something that I cannot scoop up, not only mass botted from the outdoor world, but mass botted in the sense that if I'm a skinner that's botting, I go out for however long they go out for, and they come back with 400 bloods. Even if I didn't have any professions besides skinning, I can go turn those in at the blood vendor for anything I wanted. So to, I guess, put that into perspective on, you know, 1,000 people on your realm, botter wise, doing that, and then just going to the vendor, spam, rinse and repeat, turn them in, get whatever you want, and then just list them on the auction house. There's no room for you to reset the market. There's no room for you to pretty stack and scoop up certain gems or certain amounts of ore or herbs or anything related, you know, leather, crafting. I just use fell slate and laystone and all that stuff as an example because jewel crafting and mining is my main professions, but you guys get the picture, the idea with what I'm talking about. So I go into different markets right now, waiting for the ban wave, waiting for 7.2, that you can't scoop up from mass botting. That's RNG. You can go do RNG farms for pets, or you can go do T-Mog farms and sell T-Mog. So there's a lot of other things that I'm doing right now. Obliterum prices are spiking. You guys just saw live on this coffee talk. I'm going to check again that I reset the market here for Masterful Shadow Rubies, and it's still up. So no one's purchased any yet, but they're still listed at 3,000 gold when the uncut version is going for 700, and I bought out and reset about 8 of them that were cut, selling for 1,400, and then there's one, and actually two, one for 1,800 and one for 2,100. So we have to be slick about this. We have to post these at solid times and reset and be smart about how we reset. But for the most part, I guess my advice moving forward until another ban wave would be to farm things that aren't obtainable in the open world, herbs, leather, materials like that. And I would move, more towards your RNG farms, your pet farms, you know, all the things that you cannot go to the blood vendor and turn in for, right? Because gem markets will reset. You can reset those because you can scoop up fell slate, awesome. If you're a jewel crafter, you can prospect it, awesome. But you have to rely on a lot more things to actually go through with that. You have to have the skill points to craft either the 150 stat gems or 800 to craft the Saber's Eye. So the materials could be low, but the materials have to be low, and the jewel crafters that are actually taking advantage of those prices and are scooping those up, crafting and resetting, that's how you fully take advantage of that. So I would move up into the most complicated things that you can sell, whether it's crafting Mount Sky Golems or Jade Panthers or anything that you can't find regularly on the auction house. I would start to kind of maneuver into until until the markets rebound, until the ban wave happens, and hopefully they kind of purge out the market again. So I would visit old world farms. I love my ghost iron ore farms, Trillium, the fell slate, the living steel, shuffle. So all of these videos are up on my YouTube channel, the short and sweet versions of these. There's a lot of old world materials that you can scoop up and farm that are solid, because they are still needed for a lot of crafting professions now. Like, for example, primal fires are still used, and I think like over 100 whether it's gear or mounts or transmog items or whatever, there's still items that need to be farmed. There's still items that need to be sold. So also another solid market I'm in right now is cooking. I know Nami burns everything. He's a miserable cook. He can't even use a microwave. But if you have rank 3 of any of the recipes, I would take advantage of that. It's easy to bot the materials needed, the fish, whatever. It's not easy to go day in and day out to Nami, turn in material to try to get recipes, because think of it from their perspective. They're going to just try to get rid of the most amount of stuff to kill the markets, to just get liquid gold and be in and be out, because they're going to lose their account sooner or later, right? With Nami, you can have all the materials, but you don't have the recipes. Like I said, with jewel crafting and anything else that's top tier 800 skill points, I would try to craft and to use those materials to sell and to work with now, while the materials that are kind of hitting the fan are struggling right now. So I hope that kind of makes sense. All right, guys, to wrap up this coffee talk, I'm going to kind of show you an example. We're going to do like an angel and a devil kind of example. So the angel being just us, the average gold goblin, the person that actually plays and wants to make gold themselves, and then the devil being the actual botter or nickelback if you are in my stream regularly. But we're gonna go through a scenario where I'm gonna show you how you're gonna get good gold, no matter if there's a botter or an influx of people playing. You're going to make more gold, and I'm going to show you why. So here's an example, right? Fell slate, right? From our perspective, let's do the angel side, right? We've played the game, we've grinded up recipes, we have rank 3 Nightborn delicacy platter from Nami, so we're going to take advantage of this. Fell slate, super cheap, right? It's 37 gold. We usually sell it at 50 gold plus. We were pretty stacking at 50 gold plus, so it would sometimes not be attractive for you to sell your fell slate, like I said, but to buy up more. But in this case, we can, because we have the cooking plans to cash in. So what do I mean by that? So from our perspective, from the angel's perspective, we can buy up fell slate, right? We can prospect it with laystone if it's cheap as well, and then we can scoop up the gem chips. So let's search for the gem chips right now. Those are expensive, right? Because you can craft with those, you can cook with those. But if you have rank 3 Nightborn delicacy platter, I'm going to show you how you can cash in like crazy, right? From the angel's point of view, from our point of view, because we grinded this up, we deserve, right, rank 3. So we need 1 Barracuda Magagagi, we need 20 gem chips, 1 Starlight Rose, 5 eggs, and 10 snails. So not terrible, right? So botters that have fell slate, that could prospect, that have gem chips, they're not going to take this extra step. This is the devil side. This is the, I cut it short, I only made it 60% of the way because I don't have the necessary recipes, or I can't find the people, or I don't want to go out of my way to find the people with the necessary recipes to make this. So I'm going to show you right now the price of the delicacy platter, and I'm going to show you how crazy expensive it is, because rating and progression and mythics and everything, mythic plus progression and night hold and all that kind of good stuff is still high. It's the weekend, the prices of food spikes, but look at this, 127 gold per platter. I have the rank 3 recipe, fell slate, super cheap. The rest of the materials to make this are super cheap, even the Starlight Rose, because people are botting and giving us free materials. This is one of the situations where cooking could potentially be the way to make a lot of money, a lot of gold, while you're waiting for the other markets to reset. So I hope this makes sense. I know a light just went on for a lot of you guys right here, because you never thought you could actually take the materials from the botters and use it against them, but you can use your rank 3 recipes to kind of stick it to the man right here, and as an expression, and take full advantage of this. So I hope this coffee talk helped. I hope you guys get an understanding of what's happening while the botters are out there, why the prices are like this right now. So if you have any questions, as usual, put them in the comments below. Road to sub button. I'm going to plug my Twitch stream. If you guys haven't checked that out, we go live every single night at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to midnight, and sometimes a little bit later. But we're on the road to get our sub button on Twitch. We are chasing 6,000 subs on YouTube right now. I cannot thank you guys enough. I will crank out more of these coffee talks when the material calls for it. I hate just giving you filler videos. I'm not going to open up boxes and put those videos out. I'm not going to talk about the same things that a lot of the other bigger guys have been talking about. You guys have already seen those, and if you haven't, let me know, and I can start to make my own versions of those, or kind of, regurgitate and put my own spin on a lot of that material. So I love you guys to death. If you guys have not, give this video a thumbs up. Do not forget to share it with all of your other gold goblins. I know people put out WoW videos, but these videos, like I said, are made for your commute, for your work grind, or your gym grind, or wherever you have a pocket of 30 minutes or an hour sometimes, depending on how long these coffee talks are. These are for you. So a lot of people come into my live stream, say thank you so much. The radio sucks. I kind of put these on just to listen to in the morning, and this is the 9th one, so we have a lot of material, hours and hours of material you guys can listen to. So if you haven't checked out my other guides, my other videos, my other coffee talks, make sure you do that. Do not forget to subscribe. I will see y'all in the next video. Love y'all to death. I'm out of here. Peace.